Hi! In this video, we are going to create a nebula and planet scene in Photoshop. Before we start, prepare a nebula color palette of your choice and a natural texture image for the planet. We'll be using smart object layers, allowing you to easily experiment with different color and style settings as you refine the scene. Alright, let's get started. First, create a new document with dimensions of 3840 by 2160 pixels. Set the resolution to 300 pixels per inch, the color mode to RGB at 8-bit, and the color profile to sRGB. Then, click Create. Add a color fill layer, set it to black. Convert it to a smart object. We will use this layer to create the star field. Go to Filter, Noise, add noise. Set the amount to 40, the distribution to Gaussian. Check the monochromatic box, and confirm. Next, go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur, set the radius to 1.5 and click OK. Then, go to Image, Adjustments, Levels. Set the shadows to 65, the highlights to 125, and click OK. Next, we are going to create a twinkle effect for the stars. Duplicate the layer. Then go to Filter, Blur, Motion Blur. Set the distance to 15, the angle to 45. Then click OK. Rename this layer to Twinkle 45. Duplicate the layer again, and change the angle in the Motion Blur settings to 135. Click OK, and rename this layer to Twinkle 135. We will make some of the stars much brighter later, so they become clearly visible and resemble a star field in a nebula. But before that, we need to add the color palette for the nebula. Add 5 color fill layers and choose a different color for each one. You can use any nebula color palette you like. Next, set the foreground and background colors to white and black by pressing the D key on your keyboard. Then, click on the layer mask of a color fill layer and press Ctrl-Delete to apply the background color to the mask. Repeat this step for each color fill layer. Add a new empty layer above. We are going to render the clouds here by going to Filter, Render, Clouds. Change the blend mode to Color Dodge, then convert the layer to a smart object. Next, change the blend mode of the star twinkle layers to Screen and set their opacity to 50%. Also, reduce the opacity of the color fill layers to 10%. Activate the brush tool and use the soft round brush preset. Make sure the foreground color is set to white and adjust the flow to 50%. Select a color layer mask, then brush with white to reveal the color and form the nebula. Do the same for the other color layer masks, brushing randomly and alternately to blend the colors. Feel free to change the colors as needed. You don't have to follow the exact colors in this example. Experiment with different colors to create a unique effect. Brush the layer mask with white to reveal the color and with black to reduce it. If needed, you can blend the entire background using a color fill layer. Choose any mid-tone color and apply the Color Dodge blend mode, opacity 50%, to significantly lighten the base color, highlight the brightest areas, and create a luminous effect. Next, we will add some bigger stars to the scene, create a new empty layer above, and select a star brush. If you don't have a star brush, you can create one from scratch. Check the tutorial video link in the description. Once your star brush is active, open the brush settings panel and adjust the following. Size, 250 pixels. Spacing, around 140. Activate the shape dynamics. Set size jitter to 100%. Activate the scattering. Set scatter to 1000%. Count to 1. Activate the transfer. And set flow jitter to 20%. Once your star brush is ready, paint over the empty layer to scatter the stars. Set the layer opacity to 75%, then add an outer glow effect with these settings. Opacity 40%, color white, size 40, and range 100%. Click OK. Then rename the layer to stars. Now, it's time to create the planet. Open any texture image in a new tab. It can be an image of water, desert, sand, gradient colors, or anything you want to use for the planet's surface. Unlock the layer, then go to Image, Canvas Size, and set the height to match the width to make it a square. Click OK, then confirm by clicking Proceed. Use the Move tool to adjust the image position as needed. Activate the elliptical marquee tool, then Alt-drag on Windows or Option-drag on Mac to create a circular selection. Use the arrow keys to refine the selection area if needed. Once selected, press Ctrl-J on Windows or Command-J on Mac to duplicate the selection onto a new layer. Select the duplicated layer, go to Filter, Distort, Spherize, set the amount to 100, and click OK. Activate the Move tool, drag the sphere to the main document, resize it as needed, position it within the scene, and confirm the changes. Convert the planet layer to a smart object, then add an outer glow and apply the following settings. Next, add an inner glow, adjust the settings accordingly, and click OK. Duplicate the planet layer, then remove all effects from the duplicate. Rasterize the duplicate layer, then press Ctrl-click or Command-click on the layer thumbnail to select its pixels. Press Ctrl-delete or Command-delete to fill the selection with the background color, making it black, then deselect. Move this black circle as shown in the example and convert it to a smart object. Go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur, set the blur amount to 25, and click OK. Set the opacity of this layer to 80%, then Control-click or Command-click on the planet layer thumbnail to create a selection based on its pixels. Click the mask icon to apply the selection, ensuring that only the area inside the planet is visible for the black shadow layer. Now, let's create the host star for the planet. Select the topmost layer, then make a composite of all layers. Convert this layer into a smart object, then go to Filter, Render, Lens Flare. Choose any lens type you like and adjust the brightness accordingly. Since this lens flare represents the host star, position it to align with the planet's shading. Once you're satisfied, click OK to confirm. Finally, go to Image, Adjustments, Levels. Then fine-tune the sliders to refine the tonal range of the entire scene. And there you have it. That's all for this tutorial. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to share them in the comments section below. Don't forget to support this channel by hitting like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.